Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. Welcome back to the show. 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 I'm Billy, the host.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Billy, the host. We're joined today by producer Trent Ludzack.
Hello.
We're in Trent's Unnamed studio in beautiful Marietta, Georgia. And today we're joined by our special guest, Lee.
Hello.
What's up, Lee?
It's been
Been
a minute. It's been a while.
It's been a while. The long-awaited return.
Yeah, because Corey might listen.
Corey is the show's demographic. Like drunk redneck dads.
You think he's a redneck?
He is now.
Yeah, he's a cosplaying redneck.
No, I think he's there. Just because he has a college degree doesn't mean he's not a redneck. He's not using it.
There's a mutual friend of Corey and
he drives a forklift.
So a mutual friend of ours, Zach Thomas, will often mock Corey behind his back and talk about how he was a mock trial kind of guy.
Yeah, he did the debate team.
It was actually mock trial, but we call it debate team to be kind of like underhanded towards him.
Isn't that what the debate team is? Like,
yeah, I mean, he would be here to like argue like a debate team person that it's not debate team, it's actually mock trial.
Okay.
But to us laymen,
do they have debate team anymore?
I don't know. I mean, like
I feel like that's something you see in like 80s and 90s movies.
I mean, Corey's kind of an 80s or 90s movie.
A little bit. He does have like a wallet chain now.
Does he?
Yeah.
I haven't seen this far out there.
I guess he kept losing his wallet, so somebody got him a wallet chain.
Yeah. Well, he's not really a redneck until he has a Deadpool wallet chain. I love Deadpool. He's my favorite comic book character. So, like, back when we had the comic shop, like, there'd always be someone with BO coming in there occasionally. They weren't like a regular customer, but like once a month on a Saturday, you'd have some guy with BO and a wallet chain.
Deadpool wallet chain.
I'm looking for Deadpool comics. Deadpool's hilarious. Like I need you to tell me that. Right?
Yeah, how did you have a comic book store and you've never played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater?
Oh, I did. I played Tony Hawk Pro Skater a lot. I'm just saying that I was more of a Dave Mirra BMX kind of guy because that's what we had first.
I want to know more about Farmville.
Oh, just Farmville with Matt Pinfield. There was this thing like, okay, back in the day, like when bands were coming up before, the beginnings of the internet, they had mp3.com and like, man, we would make so much money off mp3.com. They would just send you a check.
Yeah.
It's the way Spotify should be.
Yeah.
But like basically some big music people just bought it up and shut it down. But like mp3.com, like back when mp3s were something, like people would download your stuff and they would stream your stuff kind of pre-streaming and like you would get a check. And like back in those times, it's like that's kind of what funded our band was like we get these $400 checks every quarter.
Hell yeah!
And then they were more like $1,000 check, and then some big executive bought it. And
we got a couple of checks off a DistroKid in the beginning, but I think we were leeching off of a European DJ. The people were looking for him, and they were accidentally like getting our page.
So it was like. It's kind of lame because it's like Warped Tour, like hey, vote for my band kind of crap, right?
We signed up for those, but we never really like promoted.
But like back in the day, had all these like everything was like a kind of a stupid contest because nobody had any brains to market anything correctly.
Oh,
so everything's always going to be like, hey, get your friends to vote for your band, and there was like this. I think it was like on USA Network or something. Like there was this thing called Farmville. And I only remember this because later
I remember the Facebook you invite your friends and family
later this is pre-Facebook,
visit your farm.
This is like late 90s early 2000s, and so we didn't win it, but like we were like in the running to win it, and like you would see your band's name on like TV like, in the thing. It was so lame. And so another Georgia band that we were friends with won it. Sloppy Meat Eaters. They won it, and they got to play live on. It may have been called Farmville. I was thinking about the video game, but it was really funny. And
Funny Farm.
I guess
Comedy
they
Club.
were very nice and gracious about winning because the guy wore like a Tree Fort shirt
Yeah.
when he played live.
Okay.
So he like was giving us props, like he was sort of saying like maybe this is staged and rigged.
Yeah.
No.
The Warped Tour thing definitely was, because we played that one year and we didn't even we just signed up for the thing.
Oh, those things are always
And
rigged.
everybody was like getting their friends to vote for them and stuff, and we had way less votes.
It was probably just someone behind the scenes going, "Hey, these guys aren't annoying as these other guys," and they, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they definitely probably just somebody on the staff had seen our name before and was like, put these guys
Well,
on.
you know, we never won a Warped Tour vote. We just one day snuck on the show. We snuck on Warped Tour.
That sounds way more fun, honestly.
It was a good time. It was a fun time. We got burnt out pretty quick because we didn't like sneak on to play a show a day. We like did it like Six Flags Fun Factory magician way. Like we're playing at 10, 12, you know.
It's outside the fence. You just gotta hop over the fence real
No,
quick.
we're in there. But like we would play multiple times a day.
That's crazy.
Usually on a makeshift kind of stage or whatever.
Just some sound guy was like high or something, and he didn't really know, and you just start setting.
No,
up.
we just did it like DIY completely. Brought our own PA. Just started playing.
Just with no stage or whatever.
No stage on the ground.
Hey, there you go, man.
But it became a thing because like people, this band's gonna play this many times a day, and then like people from other bands, it was becoming a thing where like the people from other bands would come see us play.
Yeah.
So people like would come to see us play, not to see us, but like, hey, the guy from that crappy band's gonna be here watching us, like,
Oh yeah.
or whatever.
People from the other bands were curious about
like,
what's
the
going
guys
on.
from Coheed and Cambria are gonna be there, you know.
Oh, you would just tell people that?
No, they would be there.
Oh, right, yeah.
I if I was a marketing genius, which I'm not, I'd be like, hey, come see us. The guys from Andrew WK and like Coheed and Cambria are going to be there, and you guys should come. But
They're all gonna be there. Yeah, that is something I would do though if I was on the Warped Tour instead of just talking to like teeny boppers all day. I'd probably go watch the band that snuck in.
I learned a lot from doing that whole experience too, and it's just that kids are stupid. Like we would get there, get the PA fired up in the morning, and there's nothing going on in the morning, and I literally would make a lot of money every day. I said, all right, who's going to come up here and give me $1? You give me $1, and I'm going to tell you to shut the fuck up. And kids would give you $1, and you go, shut the fuck up! And then it'd attract more people over. And like, dude, I would have like $100 a day and just free spending money. Just, and you're all, I'm not a stripper, but I look like a damn stripper. And like, how'd you have this once? You know, still like kids. Now it'd be like way more complicated. Hey, okay, who come up here and who wants to give me $1 on their Cash App? And I'll tell them to shut the fuck up. But like, okay, let me give you my phone number first so you can put it in your Cash App or scan this QR code. No one has cash anymore. We're becoming a cashless society.
Yeah, give me the last 4 digits of your phone number so that I can confirm.
8520. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, I thought, okay. I'm just so programmed.
Damn, Lee is lonely and wants somebody to figure his number out. Give him a call.
Do you ever do the walk around with the headphones and the CD player at Warped Tour?
No, that was pretty gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean that in the South Park Kids kind of sense. Like,
Yeah.
like, you know, hey, how was the zip line? Fucking sucked. You know? Nah, I mean, that's some people doing that, but like, nah, people's attention span even then was short.
You could sell CDs in that line, though. People are just
You can,
sitting
but
there.
I don't know if you can anymore because no one buys
Yeah.
CDs.
Well, are you sad that the pretty much music has all become this like hyper pandering niche?
It was always pandering. It was pandering back then, but you know,
It's like I feel like it's way more pandering now.
it's very pandering. I mean, like
Your song has to be within the limits of a TikTok, and there has to be a TikTok to go along with it.
yeah.
And so like if you have like mental illness, you can now listen to 1.5 minute long songs about having mental illness.
I'm there with you. I don't like it. I'm not on TikTok, but I'm aware that my band is on TikTok.
Is it?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I don't use TikTok either, but
I mean, like, that's the only reason I even like, okay, cool. That's someone's using our songs for a TikTok video. All right. Cool.
Is it why do fat kids like Metallica?
More like some really obscure stuff. There's a song about like fast food, like McDonald's. That's on there a lot. And so this really obscure things will show up on there. There's a lot of short ones out there too. So I think the short ones were kind of like made for TikTok.
Yeah.
Basically, like, my musical career was like just bad timing. Like, it was like if we would have been in the social media bubble at all, we would have had a little more tread, I think. But we kind of missed out on a lot of that. Like, MySpace wasn't even like hopping. You know what I mean? So, like, YouTube wasn't existing yet.
It's a good time to get canceled. You know, Treefort would be on the Joe Rogan Experience or something.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of interest in that. But, you know, just...
Yeah, you'd be a guest on Kill Tony.
Oh, God, well, I mean, I'd be funnier. But, I mean, like, so would, like, this. That guy sucks. That guy is, like...
You know, I like the format of the show. There's things I do and don't like about that show.
You kind of gave it a half-ass compliment sandwich, which is something I'd like to talk about. Compliment sandwiches.
I'd call that a political answer.
I know, like, I'm just. What do you think about all these musicians pandering to everybody? What do you think about comedians doing it?
No, I feel very kind of in the middle with that show. I like the format, but I feel like it doesn't have to be Tony Hinchcliffe for me to like it.
I think that's kind of like what all music and all entertainment, all comedy, all entertainment is now. It's like it's all just the program and the format. It's not the person anymore.
I don't necessarily like his stand-up as like my personal taste.
I just don't like anything he does. Like on that thing, I just like, you know, like
it's a fun show though. I went to it a couple times, but I didn't get up.
Well, I mean, anything's good live.
Yeah.
I mean, like I was on a cruise ship recently and I saw Grease the musical live.
Dude, you should have gone on the Burt Kreischer Fully Loaded cruise.
Oh, really?
And Miss Grease
like-
the musical?
Well, I would be interested in that, and just in the sense that it would be less people on the cruise than could fit in State Farm Arena. So yeah, like that would be a better show than like it's like Bill Burr's coming to State Farm Arena. It's like I'd like to see Bill Burr, but not at State Farm Arena.
For $150.
Oh, is that how much it costs?
I don't know. Usually like $100 at an arena.
I mean,
show,
like-
plus all the Ticketmaster Live Nation
I mean,
fees.
I'll go see New Kids on the Block.
You think
State
like
Farm Arena.
Ticketmaster and Live Nation just own everything now?
Friday Night SmackDown.
You can't go see something unless it's like
We're looking up the ticket prices for Bill Burr. Let's see how
unless
much-
it's like an underground.
Sorry, I got quiet. We're just so interested in Bill Burr concert
Let's
tickets.
see what his tickets are. Hey, $50.
What section though?
There you go, Bill. But then,
That is the top.
but click on those tickets.
Obviously.
I bet that's Ticketmaster
Yeah,
or
what's-
Live Nation.
Let's see. What are front row here?
$355. But you know, listen.
All right. So how about
If you
charging $355 for somebody to see you, lick my balls.
I would argue that 113 is a pretty solid section, and $100 isn't that bad.
I mean, he has a Star Wars action figure.
I'm not paying $100. I don't know. This feels very like why? Why do I give him $100 to see him?
You give him $100 so he can rag on you for paying that much in a live show. That's pretty much his whole shtick. His whole show's going to be like, I can't believe you guys paid this much to see me. You guys are a bunch of dumb white morons.
It can't
That's
cost that much to go on tour. I've done it before with no money at all.
I mean, the production budget's a lot. It's a microphone. Maybe he
No,
like
they
maybe
do have to do the concessions and shit
They have
like
to
that,
turn
you
on
know?
the lights.
I mean, they have like a special. Like he got the nicer stand. It's like you know how there's like
They gotta hire people for security, ticketers, concessions. shit like that.
Maybe he's just smart. He figured it out. Like, Bill Burr was originally in a band.
Sure.
And he realized that, like, hey, if I go solo, I have to share this with everybody.
Yeah.
There's no productions crew. I just have a microphone, a cord, and a stand.
Yeah. It's a way better way to make money than being in a band. If you're in a band, then you chose that, right?
Is that why you have become a stand-up comedian? Because you can split the profits of $0.
Yeah, I got tired of splitting the profits with untalented idiots.
Says the bass player, right? It's always the bass player. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, if you have a Star Wars action figure, I think you can demand a premium.
No, I got into stand up just because I realized that I could continue doing shows even if nobody else wanted to or could that night or whatever.
Did it ever occur to you that I could always just have a show with a speaker of some sort and power, microphone stand, and a microphone?
Yeah. But I like when it's in the proper context.
Like not Baldino's?
Of a show, yeah. Like not Baldino's.
That's cool though.
Baldino's was fun. I would still do it if it was still there. If there was a Baldino's.
Are there any other local independent sandwich shops we could do a?
I would do it, but
are there any?
The customers may not like it. You might get complaints.
The customers being appalled.
What I wanted to do at Baldino's was do it after we closed, so that nobody would complain about it.
What was the disconnect there?
Corey said, "Well, it'll bring in business."
We circled back to Corey. We started with him. Oh, God. Well, Corey's the only person listening to this anyway, but Corey is not a good idea man.
He's pretty funny, though.
He's hilarious.
He's got some pretty funny ideas.
Like that. Hey, we should have really raunchy stand-up comedy and not promote it, but somehow that's going to bring in business.
I was always down to go with any idea as long as it was funny.
Well,
in the band.
Okay, so like Monday nights at McCracken's, does that bring any booze business? Do we need to stand
Not really. They complain about us comics because we hardly buy any drinks, and they all leave their cigarette butts outside.
Yeah.
And they trash up the place.
It's these stand-up comedians of all. I'm sober, but I smoke a lot of weed.
They're just like band kids, right?
And then they
alternative kids.
Well, it's what's funny. Speaking of that, it's so back in the Swayze's day, you had all the kids smoking out front. I went to a show at 5 through 9 a few years ago.
Yeah,
it's the same fucking kids still smoking out in front of East Atlanta. I'm like, that's hilarious.
Same shit, but the Masquerade gets a lot of people. I guess they come from all over.
I mean, yeah, they do con a lot of people.
Some of the bigger shows there, they do bring a lot of people.
Oh yeah,
but the band, the band's the big draw, the touring band.
So the ticket prices at Masquerade now, is that
it's all Ticketmaster shit. Same as this.
So we can't blame that on the Masquerade or Biden. We blame it on Ticketmaster.
No, they keep the Masquerade as this a cabal of shadows, so there's no one to ever blame, and they just rotate people in and out a lot. So you can't blame anything on anyone there.
Well, that's always been the case. The staircase fell down.
The blame always shifts to whatever local band is playing that night.
Now they're not even having local bands on some shows. Black Flag came and they kicked all the local bands off the show.
Yeah, fucking dorks. Get out of here, you fucking dorks.
Hey, we'll take your money for your pre-sale tickets and we'll keep it. And you can't play. Ha!
Take your pre-sales and shove them up your ass, pussy. Billy Bad Bats.
Billy Bats and the Made Men.
I was I'm kidding about Billy Bats. They were on the show, I think, and they got kicked out.
Yeah,
obviously that sucks. Who booked that though?
The Masquerade.
But somebody at the Masquerade had to have told them that they were on the show, or did they?
I know, but going back to your people operating the shadows argument. What head's gonna roll? Yeah. He's out of here. We never knew he was here.
They'll blame it on Like Mike somehow. They'll be like, those Like Mike guys told them they were on this show.
It was that Lee guy from Swayze. It was his fault.
They parked their shitty minivan in the band loading area.
I mean, it's, Masquerade had some kind of appeal, even though like they were treacherous tyrants back in the day. They still are, but like when it was that old building, it had like some character. When it moved to like a corporate meeting strip mall, like because when you go to those shows now, it's like there's no character to the room. It's just
yeah. They used to take you in the back and like take you into a tiny office. No matter how many pre-sales you had sold, they would take you all the way back to the dungeon, and then you'd be right next to the guy, and he'd be like, "How many pre-sales did you sell for this show?" And you'd have to be like, "None."
What I want to do is like perfect my time machine and go back in time to that same situation.
Yeah.
And the guy that's like hiding kind of behind like some kind of plywood makeshift door thing.
Yeah, like a...
I want to make sure, for whatever reason, in my mind, this is funny to me, I want to make sure he has braces.
Forgive me, Father, for I have not sold any pre-sales.
I want the guy to go, so no pre-sales, and he has braces on.
I used to be the guy that would, because everybody else, I don't know, it would always fall to me to have to go tell them we didn't sell any pre-sales.
Why you?
And he always looked so disappointed. I don't know, maybe I secretly liked it. Just being like, yeah, we didn't sell a single one.
I don't know. Yeah, that stuff's always been funny.
Now they have emo nights most weekend.
Again, going back to like the most pandering thing you can do. It's like, how could we take advantage of nostalgia from people that aren't taking ice baths yet? And some of them are taking ice baths. Don't get me wrong.
Have you taken an ice bath before?
Yeah.
I don't like being in ice.
How would you feel if you were trapped under a glass coffee table and this really hot chick just like came up on the table and just took a big shit on top of you?
I would try it, if that's what like my wife wanted to do, and she was like, I want to shit on a coffee table, I would give it a shot.
That's kind of like what I'm into right now. Like not like actually doing that, but like fantasizing about being trapped under the coffee table.
Is this a step up or down from horse porn, which was last time you were on?
Bestiality was your flavor of the week.
Yeah. Bestiality's always flavor of the week for me. I just feel like in the world we live in, where we're supposed to be so open-minded towards all these people that want to be like called this and called that, why can't you let me scream my bestiality porn at the public library?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's cool. You want to have like drag people read to children? That's good. I think that's good. I think we should be open-minded here. You should let us have like a bestiality fest.
You should show up to work in drag every day. You'd have to commit.
Yeah, you would. I mean, it is a government job, and I could probably make a lot of money that way when they want to get rid of me.
I guess, that's the way I see it is very like, who decides how old kids should be before they start learning about sex and sexual orientation? Where's the line? Society has to decide that line, right?
But I think that's the problem with everything is like the line and who decides the line.
Right. Who gets to decide the line?
Exactly.
Should kids be allowed to be transgender when they're 8 years old or not? Who decides?
Yeah. Again, like I'm trying to pander to people, so I don't really want to have it. That's a deep question.
It's not me. I don't think. I guess because if I were to choose, I would probably choose an already established line like 18, 21.
I think
for most
you
things.
said 8 years old, so like I drive a bunch of 8-year-olds around. Okay, and let me tell you,
How many of them are transgender?
they don't know anything. But what they
that's
do,
because they're uneducated.
they know one thing.
Because the Puritan religious South is trying to burn the books.
Yeah. What they know and all they want is candy.
What about Spider-Man?
If you said, hey, choose your gender right now and I'll give you some candy, they'd be like, candy.
What about like Spider-Man? Do they like Spider-Man?
Of course. I mean, like on Halloween, it was like 9 Wednesday Addams.
Okay.
And probably
Wednesday
like 9
Addams.
Spider-Mans.
Their parents dressed them up like Wednesday Addams, probably.
And who creates that line? Where Wednesday Addams is okay. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to talk about that because you can say something so simple like I don't like that. Like, what? No, I just think that bestiality should be in public libraries. Is my point.
It's educational. It's very Brave New World, I think.
And here, speaking of kind of the same kind of topic, it's like people are acting like people are out to ban books. Books are being banned. That's a bunch of horse shit.
No, there was a book about 2 men touching each other's penises that they wanted it removed from the Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah, but is that banned, though? Can you buy it somewhere?
Yeah.
And if you're a parent, could you buy that book for your kids and read it to them?
I'm sure.
So it's not banned.
They're banning it from the schools, which they equate to Nazism.
They're not going to like this word, but that's retarded. I mean, in the very definition, books are not banned. If you can buy it on Amazon, it's not banned. If you can go to Barnes & Noble and buy a book, it's not banned. Now, there's certain elements in society, and that's my whole point. So, where do you draw the line, right, Billy?
Yeah.
So, like, I think bestiality is a good thing. And I'm a member of the community. Okay? So can we have bestiality in our library because I say it's good? Oh, you don't want bestiality in the library? Oh, you're just a mean old Republican banning books. You're burning my bestiality.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. I think we're in a more free society than we've ever been. And people are like picking and choosing what's free and what's not free.
Yeah.
Freedom's good. Capitalism's good. Don't lynch me there.
You should be free to have an abortion, right?
You pay for it. I shouldn't have to pay for it. You know what I mean? That's why capitalism's good. That's always been the argument. People go, well, I don't think government funding should go to abortion. Fuck yeah. You fuck up, that's your $800, dude. Wrap it up next time. You know what I mean?
But should health
Is
insurance
it $800 these days?
I know exactly, but it's like
man, inflation.
That's a women's health issue now. No, it's a vacuum cleaner fetus issue.
I don't think anybody wants to have an abortion.
I'd be surprised from the way people talk, but yeah.
So
I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna side with you. Nobody wants it, but like.
I think you should be able to get one if you need one because there's probably some desperate situation.
And I think that there's enough people that support that idea to where taxpayer funds shouldn't fund it, and there should be a group of people out there that want to give money to something like that. Free abortions.
But then if we don't have any abortions, where are we going to get the stem cells to go to keep like?
Now you're talking conspiracy theory, and I like it.
I thought they did that.
I mean, we need to have
that a conspiracy theory?
No, did you see Christopher Reeve move his finger?
I read it on 4chan.org.
That's gone now.
It's still there.
It's still there. How do you even operate that thing?
You probably wouldn't want to.
What do you need, like a power glove and hook it up? How do you operate 8chan, 4chan? I've investigated. I don't get it.
It's mostly just like old. Yeah, it's very old internet, like just pictures and text, and you open up.
Have you seen things there that you want to unsee?
No. Well, yeah. Definitely things I would want to unsee.
So I have a proposal for my community. I am going to get under a glass coffee table at the library, and a hot chick is going to take a shit on the table.
Yeah, they would support you on 4chan.
Why not a pony?
They would help you achieve that.
Got to find the glass that could support the pony. That might not be true glass, like fiberglass, like a glass bottom boat.
where would you go to find like a? How much do you think a prostitute would charge for that?
Probably lower than the usual amount because like there's no penetration. It's the opposite.
No, but there's something sexual about it, right?
I guess.
No.
I didn't say I was. I didn't say I was touching my
thrill. Well, then why does the woman have to be attractive? You're the one who said a hot chick.
Because I'm trying to get people turned on to the idea. If I said an ugly bus driver lady, no one would want that to happen.
There's somebody who would be like, yeah.
I'm sure.
I think if you're into that, you might be into a bus driver.
How many
lady.
views do you think that would? Let's make that short film.
Yeah.
It'll be you under the coffee table.
I would never have a job ever again.
A fat bus driver lady will be taking a shit on the coffee table. We'll upload that to the pornography.
You got to have multiple camera angles.
And then we'll see how many views it gets.
Yeah.
Because I think that would do numbers.
Okay, if you could make any kind of porn genre that hasn't been done yet, what would you do?
I don't.
Trent's mind is cooking now.
I'm not that creative.
I just like watching it.
Porn genre.
Or just like something that you think hasn't been done. And then we can look it up and see if it has been done.
Maybe like I don't know, man. There's a lot of things that have been done.
My mind's just not cracking like it normally is tonight. I mean, normally I've had a bunch of these ideas and I just can't think of any right now.
I can't come up with one more porn genre. I'm
You
sure.
need more Bud Light.
Oh, yeah, it's true. I got to drink some of this. I haven't drank much.
Yeah, you need some inspiration on how to be a better activist.
The funny thing is, like, when I drank some of that, I'm suddenly more pro-trans than I was earlier. You know?
Now you think the government should fund abortions?
No, I'm just pro-trans.
Is it?
He thinks the government should fund transitions.
Lenses. I want everyone to look like an old man.
Transition lenses.
Yeah.
I think you can get transition lenses through insurance.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you can get an abortion through insurance.
I'm sure you can. That's something to look up. People say, like, oh, with EBT, you can't buy toilet paper.
Is that true?
I used to work at a charity.
I want to get on welfare. What do I have to do? Not have a job?
Stop working. Find a reason you can't work.
Just make something up.
Crippling anxiety. I mean,
let's see.
I mean, the problem with getting on assistance like that, if you didn't have anything, is most people that want to do that, I mean, sorry, they're lazy. And in order to get on assistance, it's a lot of work. So you got to have a really good work ethic to pretend.
But could I get more money through government assistance by working hard to scam them than I make at my job right now?
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to work hard. You'd have to work hard for like a year to get on it.
And then I should go to the doctor all the time off of then not pay the bill.
Yeah.
And just like get buried in medical debt and credit card debt.
I've been buried in medical debt. But everyone has.
Yeah.
You could do that. You could do that.
You think I could convince the government to give me more money than what I make at my job?
I don't know how much you make at your job.
Let's say the minimum wage $15.
Do you make less than $20,000 a year?
No, not right now.
So that's kind of like speaking of lines they've drawn, that's sort of like the poverty line.
Because if I can get on government assistance, then I can do stand-up comedy full-time.
Yeah, I mean, and then you could maybe have a side hustle where you're getting paid in cash.
That'll be where I get
Who's to say you can't work the job you work at now but not have a real paycheck? I mean, that's what some people do.
Crypto.
You don't need crypto, just get paid in cash.
Get paid in NFTs.
NFTs, yeah. I got the Blink-182 NFT. Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, it's a good plan. It's just you got to do the work. You got to get the business plan out to make it happen.
Did you listen to the new Blink 182 album?
No.
Why not?
Did I ever tell you like this guy I knew that was a writer? He once did this like big long interview with Mark Hoppus, and in Mark Hoppus's house, he has all these pictures of the Beatles. He's like, obsessed with the Beatles, right? And then
Is that true?
it gets this is a true story. I'm not making it up. I mean, it sounds like I can make up anything. Basically, if you want to know if I'm telling the truth or not, if I'm not talking about gross stuff, it is probably true. Okay. If it's not about a glass table or a horse perforating someone's colon or whatever, it's probably true. So anyways, this guy's sees all this Beatles stuff in Mark Hoppus' house, and Mark Hoppus is like talking about, the Beatles, they're such an inspiration, da-da-da. And there's a picture of Paul McCartney when he was in Wings. And the guy goes, his name was David, he goes, so what do you think about Wings? And he goes, Mark Hoppus goes, what's Wings?
He had pictures of the Beatles in his house?
Like, anyone can. But after the Beatles, Paul McCartney was in Wings. And this is a Wings era photo. Okay, if you're like a big Beatles fan, you wax on about how much you love the Beatles and Paul McCartney and da-da-da-da-da, and you don't know what Wings is. Well, there's a reason why you didn't find the UFOs, buddy.
But that was Tom DeLonge looking for the UFOs.
Oh, no, he's smarter, I think.
Yeah.
And he's not much smarter because he never found the UFOs.
He found something. He found some pictures.
He pandered to the right crowd.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's all about money. It's about making money.
Yeah, it's about the books and the Angels and Airwaves, and
which is a much better band than Blink-182, by the way.
I don't know. They're both kind of like not my favorite band, but if it's
the cultural zeitgeist of the time.
I think I was a little after the Blink-182 era. I was like the metalcore, like
they kind of like transcended and lasted through all that. I just think that like, is there anything really to it, or is it just corporate sludge?
Yeah, it's
pandering bullshit.
Yeah, it's pandering.
It's bullshit. Pandering bullshit.
But it's pandering to me.
The guy that's inspired by something he doesn't know anything about, I'm not interested in.
I like UFOs.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying if you say that you love Beatles and Paul McCartney and shit, and you don't know what Wings is.
I don't love the Beatles. But he had cancer.
Who had cancer?
Mark Hoppus. Travis Barker was in like a plane crash or something like that. He got his whole like dick burned off.
He got it all tattooed or whatever.
Yeah. He had to get his dick tattooed back on.
He's looking it up, I think. I don't know if that's true. Plane crash. Terrifying plane experience.
He was in a private jet crash.
Oh, poor guy. You know what I mean? Like, that, no shit's given. I mean, it's like...
Okay, I didn't know it was a private jet. I thought he was flying coach. And like...
I'll tell you who almost died in a private jet one time, broke his back. Ric fucking Flair. You know what Ric fucking Flair did? Went on to win 16 championships and didn't get a bunch of stupid fucking tattoos.
He was on Kill Tony.
Oh, he left. He got all upset.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, another reason why I don't like that guy.
It all comes back around.
Respect the legend.
Yeah. No, he was trying to, but I think Ric Flair was pretty wasted that night.
Do your research. Ric Flair's always wasted.
I don't think he knew what he signed up for that night, which was to just make fun of open micers.
Yeah. Ric Flair's used to like everyone kissing his ass, and when someone wasn't kissing his ass, it's like, you're being real disrespectful. Whatever. You know?
Yeah, he should have stayed home. He should have just drove his car home drunk instead of going on Kill Tony.
He probably wouldn't die.
Oh, he did drive his car home drunk.
Well, he should have done that before he went on Kill Tony.
I mean, so speaking of like you can't kill Ric Flair. When Ric Flair dies, like if he has a DUI and dies, like that's my last glimmer of like hope.
Well, he's gonna die soon, I'm sure.
He'll live forever. He'll outlive all of us.
Well, you still got like Hulk Hogan's still around, I think.
He just turned 70.
Damn.
Brother. And he's like a lot shorter than he used to be because he had so many surgeries.
Well, when I was younger, like there was only one kid in the neighborhood that watched the wrestling stuff, and he would always like beat me up. So I was like, nah, I don't want to play wrestling anymore.
So that kid's kind of like your Mark Hoppus and Wings for you.
Well, I just didn't watch a lot of wrestling because I associated it with getting the shit beat out of me at my friend's house.
And so like Blink-182, when I hear it, I associate it with Mark Hoppus talking about the Beatles forever and not knowing who Wings is.
Yeah, okay.
And, you know, any kid listening to this will be like, shut up, old man.
Yeah, the Beatles suck anyway, Mark Hoppus.
Have you ever considered Wings?
No.
Check them out. Band on the Run.
Oh, okay. I could do it.
What about that really horrible Paul McCartney Christmas song?
Last Christmas,
No, that's a different
I
one.
gave you my heart.
That's George Michael.
But the very next day, all I want for Christmas is you.
It's that one that goes, burp, 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 burp. And it goes, simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Is that Paul McCartney? Man, see, we could have done without the whole Beatles, Paul McCartney.
Maybe that's a movie to write. Like, we go back in time, destroy the Beatles, and what is life like without the Beatles?
There's a movie,
And it's not
like
positive.
that.
And you make your narrative not positive, like, or it's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's a lot better.
It's better without them because they sucked. There's no Jonas Brothers.
I don't think you can blame the Beatles for the Jonas Brothers.
Yes, you can. It's the same thing. They were a boy band. They sang dorky songs.
The Beatles never had purity rings. So how do you feel about Taylor Swift? Since we're talking about this.
I like Taylor Swift.
Okay, why?
Because she's a girl. That's one.
Okay.
She writes most of those songs, I think.
Wait, they say.
Yeah, sure. But as far as I know, she writes the music herself. Her tickets cost $2,500.
That's a good reason to like it.
No, I don't have anything against Taylor Swift. I wouldn't pay $2,500 to go see her.
You mean you wouldn't pay $2,500 to watch someone sing karaoke in a gigantic stadium?
Yeah, I would not pay for that because.
Would you pay $15 to watch it in a movie theater?
I don't. No, probably not. I don't like going to the movie theater though. I don't like going to stadiums unless like I'm the one making money.
Oh, so you want to be Bill Burr?
Well, I don't need that much money.
Well, there's a few steps you got to go through first, right?
I'd rather do something else like way more cool than stand up in a stadium. Like, I don't know, maybe murder somebody.
I have a great idea for the stadium.
If I'm going to charge $2,500, I'm going to be cutting a guy's head off.
I got
on
an idea.
stage.
Got an idea. You trapped under a glass table. Hot chick comes out. Shits on the table.
That I would charge $2,500 for.
Yeah, and if people have a problem with that being all ages, I mean, like, come on, stop trying to burn my book, man.
Yeah, that's true. I think I saw Cutthroat Freak Show when I was like 16 years old. He can open.
Yeah,
and then I'll cut a guy's head off.
There's got to be, that's like a snuff film.
All right, she takes a dump on the glass table,
Mm-hmm.
and then I slice her head off with a machete.
We're talking like a show for the Western world, not for the Middle Eastern world.
Yeah, when did we become such pussies?
So, like, when I was speaking of wrestling and speaking of maybe war, when I was a kid, I got this T-shirt at a wrestling event, and it said Operation Desert Shield. Not Desert Storm yet. Before Desert Storm, there was Shield, where we just sent a bunch of troops to the desert to wait around. This shirt said Operation Desert Shield, Sin Sting.
Send Sting?
Yeah, like the wrestler Sting.
Oh, I thought you meant the musician Sting.
Yeah. There's a picture of them both together, by the way. Like, the wrestler Sting came out to like a sound check.
And then the singers. Oh, yeah. Wasn't he on one of the episodes or whatever? I think Sting was fighting in the arena.
There was a fake Sting. Don't get confused. In the 90s, they had a fake Sting. But it wasn't Steve Borden.
It was a Sting impersonator?
So Sting in the 90s. Like,
what was the song Sting had?
Like we guess,
some
feels a goal. He had a lot with the Police, but his solos, the other one he has with his solo was like, feels a goal. Like mumbles
I think Sting solo is way better than Sting with the Police.
Yeah. That's a good contrarian take.
Is it?
Yeah, like I personally love Van Hagar over Van Halen. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you go into a party with a bunch of dudes, they're all drinking. You want to get a conversation going and ruin some people's night? Go, dude, it doesn't get much better than Van Hagar. Let me tell you what fucking sucks, David Lee Roth. Those guys will like eat it up, and then you can like go walk away. Shit disturbed, 100%.
Yeah, people get mad when I say that I don't like Weezer.
Mm-hmm. They get mad about it?
Well, they say I'm wrong, but I think that I'm correct.
When someone tells you that you're wrong,
yeah,
you always have to counter with this. You have to say, someone doesn't have to be wrong for someone to be right.
Okay.
But having said that, Weezer, first 2 albums only.
I don't even like the first 2 albums, really.
Well, you're like one of those guys that comes to the party and goes, hey, you like Blink-182's new album? He was all right. I prefer the Skiba records.
No, I don't prefer the Skiba records.
Hey, you know what this really lame band needs? Like a really like Disney version of Gothic dude.
But that's what all music is now. If they did the Skiba records now, people would be all over that.
They were all over it when it happened. It's just people want what they can't have. But like speaking of what everything is now, here's what it is: movies, music, even like your TikTok videos. It's not made by a creator. Like even Taylor Swift, if you believe that she makes that stuff, whatever.
Right. It's like a team.
She might be the mayor of her team.
Right.
But everything today is made by mayors. Like a Marvel Disney movie is not made. Oh, this director, he's a great director. Pfft, he's the mayor. It's a million other people going, let's do like this, do like that. It's boring. It sucks. Like real movies are like that Martin Scorsese movie. It's like 3.5 hours long, and I'm not gonna watch it.
How do you get to be the mayor? I'll watch it when it's on the internet.
How do you get to be the mayor?
Yeah.
Have a rich dad.
Okay.
I mean, that's the way it's always been. Like, I mean, how did the mayor of how did this mayor become the mayor of this town? Oh, his dad was the mayor.
Yeah, you think we'll ever reach a point where like none of the mayors know what they're doing anymore?
Well, I don't think Mayor McCheese knew much. I mean, my marketing schemes never really go far, but I made like, they had No Effects had like Not My President. I have Not My Mayor McCheese.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a T-shirt I made one time, and instead of George W. Bush on it, it was the band Bush.
Yeah. Well,
Not My President.
Fist Face has $1 or $2 cash.
Fist Face is a great band. So what's the status of Fist Face? Some guy moved.
Josh moved to Ohio,
and he played drums.
Yeah,
it's hard to find a dead drummer.
No, he played the bass.
Oh, that's easy.
But he also recorded all of the songs for us.
I never knew you had recordings.
Yeah,
I just like it live.
We have a music video, man. It's called Ivermectin. It's on Facebook.
I'll have to watch it later.
It's on Facebook Terms of Service.
Is it the label?
It's on Facebook Community Standards. That's where you can find it.
That's my that's my label I've created. Dude, I'm gonna sign your band.
Pull up Fist Face.
Let's see it
on Facebook. We don't. We don't have anything but Facebook. Maybe YouTube.
You don't have it's not on YouTube?
It might be.
Have you guys ever heard of the
It
band?
might not be.
The band Complete.
Uh-uh.
We gotta play some Complete. If we can't, there's Apple Music.
Apple Music, TikTok. We are on TikTok. Yeah, Facebook
There's
is.
a picture of Corey and his not wife, his baby mama.
His baby mama.
Makes no sense.
We'll just put our name over all of the festival flyers.
I don't see like that.
We're playing with System of a Down and Korn and Evanescence.
Incubus. Did I ever tell you?
Incubus.
I probably told this before, but like someone once threw a knife at me because I made fun of Incubus. These rednecks, we were like staying at their house, and like
You don't talk about Incubus.
well, I mean, it's about like that. Like I crossed a line. Like these rednecks were just going off like about all this horrible music, and I'm just sitting there checking the internet. Like before we had phones, like you had to use someone's internet in their house and check it, and these dudes were just going off about all
You
this.
gotta get on AOL or something, sign
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
their account, sign into your account.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, do you have another disc? You're almost out of internet minutes.
Yeah, and so those are great coasters, by the way. The AOL disc. So the guys are just talking about bad music, and this guy's like Incubus. Oh man, Incubus rules. It's going on about Incubus. I go, Incubus sucks. Like randomly, and the guy goes, hey, but you gotta admit, like anytime someone has a bad comment or a bad idea, they always start with, hey, but you gotta admit, and then they repeat it. You gotta admit, like you didn't hear it the first time. Hey, you gotta admit. Hey, you gotta admit, the guitarist is good. And then I said the worst thing I could ever say to Incubus fan. Yeah, but he's an incubus. And all of a sudden I feel this swish by my ear, and this knife like hits the wall. It's stuck in the wall. And I'm like, I gotta log off AOL.
Now, sir, you are a guest in this home.
And what's funny about
will not.
What's funny about that? Emotron Kyle cleaned their house. It was so disgusting. He spent the entire day cleaning their house.
Yeah, I went to some show in East Atlanta at some guy's house recently, and when I walked in, the smell was so like overwhelming that I had to leave.
Oh, you didn't clean it?
Hell no. The whole place needed to be burned to the ground and condemned.
What kind of show is this? A comedy
It's
show?
like a house show for bands.
And you went to this recently?
Last year, maybe. My friend's band was on tour, and they were playing the house. And so I came just to hang out. And, yeah, it smelled so much like piss. And
Like
just
human
like
piss or cat piss? Dog piss?
Cat, dog, human, and probably all mixed together.
What was the house show place? Is it they have house shows there still or no?
I don't think they do. I think maybe the city took my advice and condemned it and burned it to the
So
ground.
I would say that like with those house show kind of places, the smell, the putridness isn't the worst thing about them. I would say probably the worst thing about them would be like the domestic violence, the raping. You know what I mean? Like people go like, you know what? The problem with the scene is this and this and this. Nah, I can break it down with you. The problem with the scene is probably like rape, then domestic violence, you know what I mean? And then probably like it smells like ass in here. You know what I mean? Like that's the problem with these like and these people are so higher than now. Like, you know, they're so higher and they're like, yeah, all these places suck. Nobody supports the scene. No one's as progressive as us. And like I beat my girlfriend that night. I have 1 million arrest records, you know. We're gonna bet. They always boycott people. This guy, he got drunk and didn't take care of his dogs. Like that's the worst thing you do. Is like he abused animals because he got drunk and let his dogs out. One got hit by a car, and it's like the person saying that like got beat by their last 3 boyfriends, and like that person's still in the scene and like in cool bands and stuff, and like everyone turns a blind eye to it. And people are like, Haley, why aren't you involved with the scene anymore? Because the people that are cool, like in say the Atlanta scene, are all domestic abusers and rapists. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, like, you know, a long time ago, I didn't have a problem with that, but I'm getting a little too old for that shit. I just don't get it. I don't get it. And I'm not blaming the. Earlier, I made fun of the victim in a way. Like she keeps going back to the guy that.
Yeah, you're victim blaming.
Yeah, victim blaming. I mean, she's not that smart because she lives with the guy in the house show facility with the mattress on the floor. You know what I mean? Like, you know.
And facility is a polite word, it sounds like.
You're describing the place.
Oh, I know. They're all the same. But it's like the kind of place that's like, hey, we use the right pronouns around here, says the guy who just raped 3 people. You know what I mean? It's like, get your pronouns correct around here, mister. Hey, don't misgender me, rapist. But, you know, I mean, like, we use the right you can use the right pronouns or you can leave. And it's like the girl that has 2 black eyes telling you that. You know what I mean? He's like, why is your dog shitting? We believe in free range dog shitting everywhere. It's like, God. Yeah. But yeah, so I would say that would be my major point of contention with that stuff. I mean, like, you know, the kind of people in the world are like, Bill Cosby was a really bad guy, you know, and they're waxing intellectual as they're, you know, date raping someone that's passed out.
Yeah, he who is without sin cast the first stone, right?
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
Okay.
That's the line right there.
What is the line? I mean, we could have a series. What is the line? What is the line exactly?
Well, we're at about an hour, so Corey's attention span is running thin right now.
Well, wait, we just mentioned him again, so he perked back up. All right. Well, just like last time, we talked about nothing, accomplished nothing, and I'll be back again, and we'll talk about nothing again.
I thought we did a good job.
You know, that's at the end of the day, that's all anyone wants is for someone to go, hey, you know what? You did a good job.
May all your dreams come true.
Pretty much.
All right, y'all. Peace.